because everybody's going to throw us in the trash. And I think that's good. I know what type of men we have in this locker room, and quite frankly, I don't really give a damn what happens on the outside. I know how we're going to react. I know what we're going to do, how we're going to bounce back, and we got a Monday night game coming up, so we don't really care.
Baker Mayfield, look, I like the fact that he's trying to do what he can to motivate his team after losing by 30 points at home to start the season. But here's the bottom line. You lost at home by 30 points to start the season.
Right.
People are going to throw trash on you because it was a trash performance. You put trash on the field, people are going to put trash on top of it. So instead of worrying about what people are going to say outside of the organization, and I know that Baker Mayfield's trying to motivate his guys and trying to find something to rally around, They looked horrible.
Yeah.
They deserve all the criticism they get, Chris.
Well, yeah. I mean, we like Delaney Walker said in our little opening there before we came on radio, I mean, if you want to crown them, go ahead and crown them. You're right. I mean, a lot of us have crowned them because of the sexiness of their roster, and we all love Baker Mayfield and Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham Jr., and it just looks cool, and we see talent on the defensive side of the ball. All right. So it was a bad loss. We know that. But they're going to take positives. I mean, the game was 15-13 late in the third quarter to where they're going to look at that and go, okay, now what did we do? And they're going to go back and look at it, and Baker Mayfield's going to realize, wow, I made some throws and some plays that I usually don't make. That was a big issue. They shot themselves in the foot a number of times yesterday. Protection was an issue. That was the first part of the downfall. And the offensive line was a big question mark for this team to begin with. And then Greg Robinson gets kicked out of the game. And if you're watching this play on TV, Cameron Wake gets the safety. Certainly hurts Baker Mayfield's elbow to a degree, right, Mike? We saw that in live action. And there was just a number of errant missed throws from that point on where we just haven't seen Baker Mayfield miss the target by the margin he missed a few times yesterday.
Yeah, I remember in that preseason game where we last saw Baker Mayfield, he didn't look sharp. It's like, well, he didn't
just
have
a little
his guys.
off. Yeah,
didn't have OBJ, didn't have Jarvis Landry. Hit everybody yesterday.
Yeah.
And the Titans knew that gunslinger mentality would create opportunities for them. Kevin Byard, the Titans safety, told me after the game that they expected this, and that Dean Pease, the defensive coordinator, threw every coverage in the book at Baker Mayfield, so he had to deal with everything. And they got 3 interceptions all in the fourth quarter. Kevin Byard told me we could add 5 yesterday.
Yeah.
And they win by 30 points. And look, a close game can quickly become a blowout when you get desperate and when you try to press, and when you have a mistake, and then the other team
force
scores
a ball
touchdown.
into the window here,
another mistake,
losing, and that's another one.
7 becomes 14, becomes 21, and then it's a blowout.
Right, and that's kind of what happened. Even early on, the Browns went right down the field early on in the game. And we said, "Ooh, gosh, this is what we all thought it would look like. This looks amazing." And then they went through a stale point of, late first quarter, second quarter, even early third quarter. But one of the big issues that kept hurting them more than anything on the offensive side of the ball, we talked about protection and all that, but the penalties. I mean, what was it, 180-something yards of penalties yesterday?
18 penalties, the most the Browns have had since 1951.
So there was a number of plays where first down, we went, ooh, it's 2nd and 2. Oh, penalty, it's 1st and 20. I mean, there was a lot of that yesterday where they put themselves in a hole before drives even started, and of course caught up to them, and I got to give Mike Vrabel and Dean Pease a lot of credit for what they did.
Key factor in all of this.
Yeah.
Freddie Kitchens.
Yeah.
New head coach. Wasn't interim head coach last year. Was just interim offensive coordinator.
Right.
Got promoted to head coach. A year ago, we would not have pegged this guy as being an NFL head coach. And I want to get your take on this.
Yeah.
I talked about this earlier on the radio side. When I saw his arrival interview yesterday with Steve Weish of NFL Network, I was like, where's Freddie Kitchens? Completely clean shaven, right? Like
his edge was gone?
Like just, the Matt Nagy be you.
Right.
Don't shave.
Right.
Be who you are.
Right.
Wear your dog pound hoodie. Don't change. Don't act like the way you think a head coach should act.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a guy who hasn't been groomed to be a head coach and didn't expect to be a head coach. I think there's a danger that you're going to act the way you think a head coach should act instead of being who you are, because that's what got you to where you are. And the challenge now is going to be, as he rolls out of bed, number one, he's not going to want to get out of bed today. Right. And number two, how do you put this debacle behind you and focus on getting this team ready for the Jets. How do you say the right things at the right times, do the right things, make the right decisions, make the right plans? And this guy's never done it before.
Yeah.
He's never coached before as a
I
head
know.
coach, and he lost his first game by 30 points at home. How do you prevent this from becoming an avalanche?
Yeah, well, I do think they have the right people in that locker room and on that coaching staff. I mean, Freddie Kitchens is a fighter. Steve Wilkes on the defensive side of the ball. Another guy who's been around the NFL for a long time. So I think he's going to be there. You know, cooler heads will prevail here in Cleveland. Baker Mayfield, tremendous leader, all of that. I like your point about Freddie Kitchens, though, Mike. I think that is something real. You know, sometimes, you know, Freddie Kitchens, I'm still a believer in him and what he can do. They're going to have to clean up some things that they messed up yesterday, certainly. But yes, be true to yourself, especially in Cleveland. You can get away with that rugged look. And you're right. I think coaches get a little bit like, ooh, this is the way I should look. And it's not necessarily because they want to, but they think their owner might like it. You know, their family at home who's watching, oh, let me impress mom. Look at my suit and tie and I'm all clean shaven. But then we turn on the Pittsburgh Patriots game last night and there's Bill Belichick in his pregame interview with Liam, and he's got a cut off sleeve and he doesn't care about his hair, and it's just, it's just not that pretty looking. But the results speak for themselves. So I'm with you. Be true to yourself, Freddie.
Yeah, and I think it's really going to be a huge test. The next two games for the Cleveland Browns are in prime time.
Jets, Rams, right?
Right. Monday night against the Jets in New York, and then Sunday night
at home
on NBC.
Short week. Ooh, yeah. So they got some work cut out for them.
And it got ugly yesterday.
Yes,
the fans were booing them off the field by halftime. And for as jubilant as everyone was, to have it turn that way. See, that's I felt so bad for Cleveland. They're getting the downside of being regarded as a good team without ever doing anything to earn that praise and that stature and everything negative that goes along with it, because teams are going to want to beat them. They're going to be fired up. Last year, it's just the Browns. Now, the Browns, all that hype. Let's go knock them down another peg. And this could get out of control very quickly for the Cleveland Browns. And, hey, they got a week to turn it around. They get that one extra day, and I'm sure they'll try to make the most of it and get their stuff together for next Monday night against the Jets. And the Jets will have every reason to try to, get the bad taste out of their mouth from what happened on Sunday against the Bills.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.